Okay, so hi guys, I just wanted to make a quick response video to a video by the Young Turks called Designer Babies at Request, or Designer Babies Now Available, or it's something along those lines. I'm going to try my best to link it to you guys, the Young Turks, but that might probably not happen. But basically, what the video was saying is that people or scientists are now finding new ways to be able to pick what genes a person wants their baby to have. Like, if a person wants to have a male child who's tall and athletic, then they can pick the genes to make their baby a tall, athletic male. Or if someone wants a female child who's also tall, who's skinny, then they can pick the genes to make that child a skinny female. And the hosts talking about this in their video were debating on whether it's a good thing or whether it's a bad thing, and I personally think it's a bad thing, but I think in moderation it is a very good thing. When I say that, I mean a lot of times their babies are born with a lot of disabilities, especially when a woman gets older in their 30s. When a woman hits 30, the chances of their child having autism goes up by 40%, and a lot of people just don't want their child to have disabilities, and it's a very sad thing. And I think that being able to choose the gene which doesn't have a disability, I think that is a very good thing to prevent just to be able to pick the gene that gives their child a chance in life without a disability. But I think picking genes that basically choose their personality traits, or rather not personality traits, but they're just traits in general, I think that's kind of cheating in a way. It's kind of pushing them ahead in life, but without having to do any of the work. You're not really doing any of the work except for paying a bunch of money, and then scientists are just going to be like, okay, and maybe one day when your child grows up, he doesn't want to do any of that. That's another big thing. But my main issue with why I think this is wrong has to do with a movie that I actually saw a couple years ago, and then I rewatched it again in my freshman year bio class, and it's called Gattaca. It is a 1997 science fiction film, and basically it's how do I explain it? It kind of mimics what's happening now with all this, pick the genes you want your child to have kind of thing, and it takes place in the future, and basically it's about a boy who was born and he didn't have any genetic mutation or gene picking kind of thing, and then his brother did have all that, and he lived in a society where most of the people had their genes picked, so all of the people were these intellectual, tall, athletic people, and they were strong and whereas the very small percentage that the main character was a part of was seen as inadequate because they weren't perfect people. And I think that's where this is going to lead to if this keeps happening. There's going to be so much corruption, I guess you could call it. There's going to be there are going to be positives. If this happens, then if a majority of the population is smart and they're witty and they're strong and fast, and that is going to be a very good thing, but I just personally don't think it's morally right because you're cheating. I don't believe it's God's plan or any of that, mostly because I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God, and I think that's a very poor argument to make, but I just don't, like I said, I think it's kind of cheating, and I think that if this does become a major thing in the future, it probably won't be in the near future, probably not even in my lifetime, but I think that if it does happen, and there's going to be a percentage of people that's going to be discriminated against, because there are going to be some people that don't want to choose their child's genes for them. They don't have the money to do so, and they don't want to do any of that, so their children are born and they're not going to be fit to the standard. That's kind of what I'm getting at when I say that it's kind of wrong. I think that if this becomes a major thing, then it's going to set a higher standard towards people, and those people who don't have their genes selected to make them perfect or to make them anything like that, then they're just going to be looked down upon. Like I said, if you haven't watched the movie Gattaca, I think that's a great way, and it's going to kind of give you some insight on this, But in the end, it's just a movie, it's science fiction, and of course fiction means it's not real, it's just made up. But this is something that I've recently heard of where people are starting to be able to pick genes for their children, and I do think that's a bad thing, mostly because it's going to set higher standards towards people, it's going to cost a lot of money, and it's kind of cheating. That's how I think of it, but I do think it is a good thing in the sense that you can pick a gene to have your child not have a disability, to allow your child to be normal. That's kind of rude to say when I say like the whole normal versus not, but I hope you understand what I mean, and I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful when I say that. But overall, I do not think it's a good thing. So yeah, I know this was quick, and sorry it's kind of all over the place, but like I said, for like the third time, I do recommend watching that movie, and in the end, it's the people's choice, whether they want to do this or not. But I personally think that it's something that should not happen. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this, so peace.